Hi there and happy Sunday. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if it's the first time. I just wanted to acknowledge all of our new subscribers and say thank you very much. It's really rewarding to me when I get subscribers, because it tells me, even if I'm low on comments on the content that I'm putting up, that if people are subscribing, then the content I'm putting up must be helpful to you. And that's very important to me, of course. Anyway, this is the first video for 2024, so I'd just like to reiterate, Happy New Year to you all, and I hope that it's kicked off well for you. So as for what's new, well, we've been working very hard and fast trying to lay foundations for you to access more information, certainly in the earlier part of 2024 instead of the later part. So while I do continue, or I do encourage and appreciate subscriptions and people clicking the bell to get notified, I would just like to warn you, I'm actually compiling about 21 videos at the same time to go onto the channel, the playlist for angels. Now, I've learned that I can put a notification up as a post when I'm going to do it, but I'm just giving you fair warning because you might want to turn that bell off until we've got them up. But I'll let you know when we're going to do it, because I am actually still continuing to maintain the regular type of loading that we put up, which is the Friday of healing, and Monday is numerology, and then just the little art reels and the quotes. I like to put those up for you as well to inspire you. But yeah, there will be a time, probably over the next week or two, when I'm going to do a big upload all at once. So as you're probably aware and already seen, I've created a new playlist for angels as part of providing information and strategy to you to be able to connect with the energy for manifestation and blessings and this kind of thing. Now, I also did do a music video with angelic celestial type music on it for you to use as you practice some of the technique. You might find it to be helpful. Please do feel free to let me know how it went for you, both the music and the strategies that I'm putting up. I will put a link in the description to the angel music one. And as I said before, it's actually the angel content that I'm working on primarily at the moment. What is typical for me is I get an inspirational idea and I think, oh yeah, I can do that. That won't take me long. I'll just knock that together and that will be a good thing for people. And then as I start to do it, I realize actually I need to do more than that. And this is what's happened with me, having that thought like, oh, I'll give people the details on Amarashaya so that they can maximize the energy in 2024. And then it was like, oh my God, I need to give people strategy on how to connect with their guardian angel. It was like, oh my God, before I do that, I actually need to put up the content on the archangels and how this process works and unfolds. And then all of a sudden, it's absolutely bigger than Ben-Hur, which is why it's as big as what it currently is, and why I'm giving you fair warning. That when I upload it, I will be uploading it not in dribs and drabs, because to me this is about empowering people and giving them options. And so this is a real big priority as far as I'm concerned. I hope it's the same for you. As I said before, though, I've only just seen that there is a notification, or there's a way, I've still got to explore how to do it, where I can send you a message basically through the channel, which is just a little type, like a post, I guess, a little typewritten post. There's no voice or anything like that. It's just a g'day. This is what it'll be like, g'day, hope you're well. Just letting you know, I'll be loading this within the next 24 hours. This is what I'm thinking about doing. So let's hope it pays off like that. So when it comes to actually communicating with your angels and guides, obviously it's going to happen differently for everybody. But for me, it becomes not just a case of being open and receptive to the healing energy. I've had it happen in many different ways. And I thought I would share this story for you of when I first really became aware clairaudiently of the communications. And so the way it happens for me is basically I might have a recurring dream at night time, or in this particular context, the one that I want to share with you is many years ago now, actually at the time that this song was released by Savage Garden. I can't remember even the name of it right now. But what was happening, I was waking up every morning with this song on my mind, this particular passage. And it was, I want to stand with you on a mountain. I want to bathe with you in the sea. I want to lay like this forever until the sky falls down on me. Oh, can you see it, baby? You don't have to close your eyes. It's standing right before you. All that you need will surely come. And then there was this other passage: I'll be your dream, I'll be your wish, I'll be your fantasy, I'll be your hope, I'll be your love, be everything that you need, and I will love you more with every breath, truly, madly, deeply do. Now, I had not, just to let you know, I didn't have a radio at the time, and I had not heard this song. I had not had access to this song. There was no other way that I could have come across this music, okay? And then I happened to go down the shop one day, and this song was driving me bats. I mean, it was a beautiful song, but I was being driven bats by it. And I was down the shops, and I heard this come on over the speakers, as you do. And I said to somebody, what is that song? Because it was the bars about, I'll be your dream, I'll be your wish, I'll be your fantasy. And that last passage of the 3 lines there, that was the bit that was in my head. So I ended up going and Googling the lyrics, the song lyrics, to try and find out who wrote the song, which obviously, truly, madly, deeply, that's the name of the song. So I Googled it, and I can tell you that, yes, it was actually a message of comfort for me. They were reassuring me that they were there. It was dark days for me. And I can tell you that, it made me tear up, that's for sure, in positive ways. But the reason why I'm mentioning this is because I got another one on New Year's Day, so I want to share it with you. And it's really funny the way it all works, okay, is because there's a couple of funny parts with this. I've decided to be more organised so that I can be more current as far as doing the yarning videos go. And I thought it would be more effective if I actually just started the videos and wrote little comments in through the week when I noted observations, especially with the amount of content that I'm loading at the moment. And every now and again I have a thought pop into my head and I think I really must actually include that on the yarning. And then I forget. All right. So anyway, I started this video as far as preparation goes at the beginning of the week. And on January the 1st, I realised that I had been hearing this song in my head for a few days. So I had to do a Google. And I found it and I thought, I'm going to put this content up here for this video. So you guys, if you're not familiar with angels and you've not had any experience, you'll know that this is one of the ways that they can communicate with us, right? Through songs and dreams. Anyway, so I typed this all up and then I got busy with the week working on these, multiple angel videos and everything else for the channel. And I forgot that I had this message. So when I was looking at this yesterday and getting the video prep done for today, I was reminded of it. And I thought, oh my God, I looked at this message again. I thought, it's just so beautiful. So I don't know that you want me to read it through to you, but to me, this is a reminder that, they're with me, and life is full of ups and downs. I mean, it speaks for itself. But just so that you know, I knew the song, I'd forgotten who wrote it, and I'd forgotten who the song lyric or the total song lyrics. So this is the passage that was coming at me on January the 1st, and I think that's a beautiful message to receive. And I don't know if I said I'd actually been getting it for a couple of days before January the 1st. So that's why I know that this is a divine message for me, is because it's been repeated to me. So back to general channel content and updating you though. With the self-care video this week, it's been loaded, of course. It's an introduction to emotional intelligence, a bit of a flash term really. I do recommend it to everybody, of course, especially, I must say, especially those people working in the metaphysical fields as energy workers. Everyone can benefit from it, but the reason why I have selected them and saying, you really would benefit from this is because I know myself as an energy worker and doing everything that I did. I thought I was being balanced on a mind, body, spirit level until I went to university and I learned a lot of the mental health strategy and that kind of stuff. And this is part of the information that I learned. And it was one of those things where you just think, that and boundaries actually, and friendship circles and all of that, where you think to yourself, oh my God, I wish I'd known this years ago, because this type of video explains a real lot about what's happening and why it's happening for us within a physical sense. It helps to raise self-awareness at the very least, but the whole aim of the emotional intelligence is actually really about becoming not only more aware of what your motivations are, what your triggers are, to recognize when you're becoming tense and all of that kind of stuff. It actually provides you strategy to become the best version of yourself. That old, hate to say it, word salad saying, be the best version of yourself. This will go a long way to that. And without going too far into it, because I discuss it in the video, the bottom line is employers, especially corporate employers, are looking now. There appears to be a preference based on the research for those people that have got higher emotional intelligence over people with intellectual IQ. So emotional intelligence is referred to also as emotional quotient, EQ. And where I'm going with this is, we all know what IQ means. It's like, oh, they're really brainy and smart. Well, nowadays it's like, it doesn't matter how brainy you are, we want you to be able to be emotionally responsible. So people will gain great benefit, I believe, from this video. And as usual, I give you tips to point you in the right direction. There will be more videos. I've decided to deliver it as a series because the other part of having high EQ is to find your tribe type stuff, and then I'll be looking at unpacking the emotions. Now, I wanted to refer to this because in the video I did make a mention that was not necessarily validating of Brené Brown, who's very popular, and I wanted to acknowledge and correct this because I can't be bothered, let's be real, in recording the entire video or whatever, because I've already got it uploaded. I wanted to acknowledge that from my perspective, she does provide a lot of really helpful wisdom and content. However, there is one aspect that I disagree with her, and I've explained it. It's the way she describes empathy and what she defines an empathetic person as. I don't agree with that. So everything is contextual, though, of course, I would stick to this. Actually, it's a good thing I've put this slide up. If a person is struggling and suffering, because we experience pain at different points of our lives, the way I look at it is, I call the hard times like swimming down the White Rapids or whatever. We don't have them in Australia, but I've seen pictures of them. But to me, it's like, if I was going through the white waters of emotions, I would not expect somebody to jump into the river with me to try and save me. What I would like for them to do is for them to throw me one of those like rubber rings tied to a rope and try and pull me back to the shoreline. So I see that as being much healthier for everybody than to actually crawl into the same space that they might be in. And another way, because, I am Australian, I do like a bit of dirt, is I would also explain it as, if someone falls into the manure pile, I don't think we both need to jump in and get dirty. I think it's perfectly acceptable to turn around and say, wow, you're covered in a lot of poo there. I'll just stand over here. I'll throw you a line if you need to be dragged out, and just stand there for a while I blow you off with a high pressure hose and get rid of the stench. I'm with you, buddy, but let's get you washed and cleaned up, something like that. I don't know if that works for you, but it's just something that came into my head as I'm talking here. So just to acknowledge, I did put up the personal year forecast for you all, and despite all the best intentions and all the hard work, there was an error, right? I apologise if you were spammed out as the content was loaded, by the way. The error that I made was actually my calculations. Unfortunately, one person picked it up. Thank you very much. And I was able to put a comment underneath the actual video stating that, yes, of course, it's very confusing if my maths isn't there. I call it a brain fart, right? I'd miscalculate the numbers. Anyway, I've put the comments underneath the videos. Sorry for the inconvenience, but yes, it seemed a bit silly to go back and re-record them all because of that one slide. As far as the other numerology content is, numerology number 8, personal year, is going up, and personal year 9 is nearly ready. So that will be, 8 days' time. And then after that, we're going to start looking at master numbers. So it's all coming soon, and it will be continuing for a while yet. So I hope you're enjoying the content. So each week, I'm actually going to remind people because we might have new people watching the channel, about the Chakra Power tool, because it's just so good at releasing blocks and that kind of stuff. And I have heard that this year there's going to be a lot of Menergy would be good. A lot of Mars energy, being the planets, and that this may impact on people's motivation and so forth. And so it would be good to fall back on the power tool if they end up finding themselves in a bit of a bind. So I'm not really getting a real lot of feedback on the art reels and the quotes that I'm putting up, but I actually enjoy doing them still, so I will continue to do them. But please do feel free to make comments and let me know how I can make them better for you or more enjoyable, because my aim with this channel is actually to provide stuff that's beneficial to you, and I have found that I'm really enjoying putting the stuff together for you. So yeah, please let me know. More than happy to accommodate. In regard to the 105 universal laws, they appear to be actually really popular, and I was surprised, to be honest. I didn't think anybody would be interested in it. I now realise who the original author, as far as the documents that I would have been referring to, is, and I'll do a video on that at some point in time, because I think it's just nice to know information about the history and the introduction of the Eastern concepts into the Western world. And, especially if we're doing this kind of stuff, we're sort of like, oh, I'm a bit new agey, Well, when we do this kind of practice, we're blending a lot of information from a variety of cultures. And so what happened was, it's law number 33 that opened my eyes to where basically to the origin of the source that I created the content from, I guess. Now, remember, I've said to you in the past, I wrote the document 20 odd years ago, and I don't know now where I even got some of that information from. I'll say that when you look at number 33, I thought, I'm going to put this up in its original content, because when I say original as I've got it on the document that I sent out to somebody in 2005. And I don't know where, why, how I've put that content together, but I will say that when I read it, it made absolutely no sense to me. It's bigger than Ben-Hur. I didn't think it was well written, and so I did a bit of research on it. I know that when I wrote this document that my intention would have been to revisit it at a later date, and I have done now. So what I've been able to do is look at this law, condense it, break it down, and make it, I feel, far more relevant and far more applicable, and I think potentially more logical, more rational, and more usable within, if we like to call it, the third dimension on the earth plane. We want practical stuff when we've got a body. It's not all, well, it's hard being a human sometimes, isn't it? So the more information that we can get that's practical for us, the more we're building those solid foundations to do the rest of our journey, if you like, to build that connection. I'll do a video on that at some point in time. It might make more sense then. So, my friends, that's probably about all I've got to update you with this week. I'm trying to keep these videos not very long, out of consideration to you guys. I will let you know that I'm going to be exploring with some more technology. I don't have any updates in regard to my technology at the moment. I believe I will next week know a little bit more about infrastructure and that. But I am, within the infrastructure I've got, I'm going to experiment with a few other things in the near future, just to see what I can actually deliver to you guys, and try and obviously keep the focus on quality of content as well. But for now, there's not much else I can tell you. If there's anything you would like to see, as said before, if you want me to visit, please do leave a comment, and I'll respond to it. And if I need to, I'll respond to it in the Sunday yarnings as well, So until next week, or until the next video, take care, my friends. Be blessed. Have a wonderful week. And I might speak to you in between times. But anyway, even if I don't speak to you in between times, I'm still working on content, okay? Take care, be blessed. Bye-bye for now.